Oh my God, you guys. It rained today, it's overcast, and we can finally do part 2 of bad weather and talk about that. Hi, and welcome to another awkward video where I will be lighting myself and showing you what it looks like so you can see where I'm standing in different places. This is my backyard. It was a very overcast day, it's been raining, and I'm trying to be as evenly lit as I can for overcast. The light's gonna change a little bit just because there are lots of trees over here. There's a big tree behind you over there. That's you guys. As I'm facing these big trees, you can see that the light gets a lot less flattering. I shouldn't be facing the dark, but what I've done whenever I bring clients over in this area is that I have created a flattering lighting situation in this direction. So in this direction, it's highlighting all the right things on my face. Whereas when I'm standing in this direction, it's sort of highlighting the sides of my face, and it's bringing out things like under eye circles and skin texture and stuff like that kind of goes away a little bit whenever I face the light. So this is what I mean when I'm talking about being in a big open space. I can kind of change the light. It's a little bit directional, but it's not cute. It's not the most flattering. But if I frame myself up against something dark, you can kind of get some of the backlighting halo effects that get lost. Whenever you're shooting against the sky, you're sort of like missing all the potential for halo. So you wanna make sure that you are framing people up, we have a pool, framing people up against dark stuff. I'm gonna show you what's behind you. If I were shooting a couple, I would likely back them up more or less to this area and have them look out towards the light, which is gonna be over here, or this is a bigger light source because more of the sky is exposed over here, but it's much more flattering than if I were to turn around and have them face in towards the dark. So even when things are super overcast, this is how we can control lighting. In big open fields, there's not a lot that we can do to make things look different. So I try not to put people in big open fields. I just try to put people up against stuff. The whole thing that I'm trying to do is get people to look towards the light source and to put them up against stuff. And we don't have to necessarily have them facing the light source and us be in the same place as the light source. That's kind of how I'm holding the camera. But if I put it off to the side and I face the light source, it's also much more flattering. And then you're also not just getting like super flat lighting. So this is how you can get flattering lighting and good lighting, but not have it just be like flat on their face. Whew, there's a hole my dog dug. So here I am more out in the middle of the field, and then I'm just gonna move closer to the tree. As I do, the light just gets a little bit more directional. Here I am under a tree, kind of surrounded, so it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to have them find the light, but there is this little patch right here. So this is where I'm going to aim my clients and aim my face. So this is gonna be the most flattering lighting. Of everything else here, this little patch of light is where I'm gonna have my clients aim their faces. So I'm just gonna, see, it's obviously directional. I hope this doesn't make you dizzy. It just occurred to me. But if I were a client, and I'm looking in any other direction, it starts to highlight the sides of my nose, which makes my nose look wider. And as I look over here, you get a good glimpse at my under eye bags. I can circle around, and this is actually not bad. There's like a patch of light here, but I find myself having to look up more dramatically because the trees are much taller. So if I'm looking straight on, this is my better light source. This little patch of light over here. I can still use this area. I just have to look up more to see the light, because the trees are higher. I am trying my best to get in a middle of the forest lighting situation, but it's still really hard because I still have these like pretty big patches of light. So I'm gonna try my best to hide myself from the patches of light. So this is as close as I'm gonna be able to get to standing in the middle of the woods. You can sort of see the light is still a little bit directional. I can't help it. That's just where I'm at. But if I were in this situation and this were my lighting, the way that I would probably end up posing my clients is having them cuddle up together or having them look more dramatically sort of up towards the sky, because all of the light that is coming is being blocked from the trees around me and it's only visible by the sky above. But that's when I tend to get a little bit dramatic. Or we're in the middle of my yard on an overcast day. Technically, I know where the sun is. The sun is like over in that direction. That's where sunset is. I will say, because of the trees and the layout of my yard, the brightest part of my yard right now is this part, because that's where the sky is. But if family pictures wanted to happen and it's an overcast day and this were a field, like imagine I didn't cut my grass for a year, I don't know how long it takes to make a field, then I would not want to do the family pictures here in the middle of the yard because it's too flat. So I'm gonna run back and I'm gonna put them up against different stuff to change up the lighting. So I might back family pictures up against here. I don't think this is changing the lighting that much. It's a pretty short bush. I don't think it's absorbing that much. What I think I would actually want to do is look for something that's visibly darker, which I think is going to be this area over here. You can see it's quite a bit shaded. It's darker right here than it is right here. Therefore, this area is darker. If I were to do family pictures, I would try to do them kind of in this area. As I approach the darker areas, I would be making sure to face my clients out and away from the darker areas to make sure that it's more flattering. So I would want them to look up towards the light source, not in towards the forest. So on super overcast days when people want to be in the field, I will do it, especially if it's already kind of a dramatic, cool looking field. But the emphasis is really going to be on like composition and posing instead of a golden lit, beautiful field. The emphasis just has to be a little bit different. So I think this is going to be the closest to like a fully forested area that I have in my yard. But you can see there's highlights. So there's highlights over here. It clearly gets quite a bit darker when I go over here. I have access to more lighting as it comes down versus when I'm standing under the trees. So if I were gonna pose clients, the light would be coming down from directly overhead over here. So I could put them over here and it would be more dramatic lighting. So I'd probably have them like chins up, cuddled up more. I'd probably not be taking pictures of them looking at the camera and smiling here. It's just not a good look for under eye circles. So if you were ever in a super dark forest and there's some doubt about the directionality of lighting, you can do exactly what I'm doing here, where you get out your phone, stand in one place, and then turn in a circle and just pay attention to when the sides of your nose are highlighted and when the front of your nose is highlighted. Because ideally, flattering light is going to be when the front of your nose is highlighted and not the sides. So I really hope this was helpful. Knowing the direction of the sun isn't super helpful whenever it's overcast because our light sources tend to not be where the sun is. It happens to just be like where the biggest opening in trees are. And our emphasis is just on removing the lighting because we can't add more lighting, or technically we could. I'm a minimalist and I'm never gonna do it. I'm just not. But I really hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad that it rained today, which is not a thing that I say very much, but I'm happy because I got to make this video. And now I'm gonna go eat sushi.